Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the San Francisco 49ers. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Here we go, here we go. 180! 54! I'm trying to collect!
Now a man who really stepped up last year, this is Matt Breida. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The defensive line made pretty easy work of the offensive line that time.
And people get tired of the cliche that the battle is won in the trenches. But it's a cliche because it's true. And how about the battle right there? One on the edge, and the ball carrier did not benefit.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's the 2nd-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ends up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. Where do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Here we go,
The last
here we go,
run
here we go.
got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And it brings up 3rd down.
Here we go. 180. 54 miles. Yeah. You don't want that.
Now the fullback, Juszczyk. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
51 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. The first carry for C.J. Prosise. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Seahawks will take over at their own 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll find Ballore out of the backfield. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. Wilson now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a 1st down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Set, baby. Set.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, baby. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
From the gun, it's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go, D.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two.
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long, and he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks, they're able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And that makes the score 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. This is Breida, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 21-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Here we go, G. Touch this.
Wilson turns and gives to Procise. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
He'll find Metcalf. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal from the 4-yard line.
Second and goal, and Penny standing by himself in the backfield. Now Wilson. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left.
Thrown away and incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 4.
Green 80.
Check. Watch 54. Come on, boy.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, a chip shot here. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked out since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the second half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
Get ready.
The Niners take take over first and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. It's a very short kick taken by an up man.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before?
Well, when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, here's Breida. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry, 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
I don't think you got it, son.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
Here we go.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here we go, here we go.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On second down, it's Coleman. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
Right 54. 3 bucks.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. George Kittle, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 40.
Get ready, get ready.
Now Rashad Penny. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
7 yards on the play, and that'll make the... It's a 2nd down.
Wilson. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Niners' 38-yard line.
Here's Wilson. And finding the tight end, Wilson. And he gets it down to the 32. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Double dog, that's the way.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, 1st down Seahawks.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
This quarterback now over 300 yards down for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. D. Ford make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson operating from the gun. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or 2, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. The decision is to decline it and not give him the down back.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
After the penalty, it's Penny. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Here's Wilson to throw on 3rd down. That's complete. It's Gordon. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
2nd and 9 now. Fighting through pressure. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. Like 20.
Right there, 54 Mike.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now. Stay hot.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
Now it's Lockett. Oh, he slipped right by him. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Alert, alert.
Penny, a 1st down carry. The tackle there by Richard Sherman. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They'll try and run forward, Penny. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Al Woods, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Here we go, here we
They'll
go.
come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now it's Breida. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, hey, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll run with Penny. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made there by Matt Milano. This is Penny. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was linebacking speed that can trump O-line power. We see that at times because he filled the gap before the offensive lineman could get to the next level and take him on.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
2nd and 1 at the 29-yard line.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Garoppolo looks to throw, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
They'll toss it to Breida. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. 180!
54. Hey, watch the leg.
Leg!
Here's Breida. In on the tackle there, Bobby Wagner coming off a 3rd straight All-Pro season.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now with Juszczyk. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's now 4th down.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Wait a second. That's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all because you want that penalty. All right? They just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now.
Mike 54. Mike 54. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And the ball is knocked out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the